Welcome back, everybody. It's now week 4 of the March Trailcam videos. I'm down by my railway at the minute with lots of flowers coming out around me. There's lots been going on in the woodland this week. In addition to lots of action with the birds around the feeder and also the nighttime action with the fox, I've also built a tiny little sort of pond watering hole for the birds, and that's also been very popular. Hope you enjoy watching. Monday the 24th began with the pigeon, which still hasn't given up hope of me putting food on the table for it. It still often sits there at the empty table, just waiting. A single jackdaw seems to be a frequent visitor, but the large gangs that used to hang around on the lawn underneath the bird feeder have gone. There were multiple small birds on the feeder across the morning, mostly dunnocks and bluetits. Shortly before 3 p.m, we had another daytime visit by one of the foxes. He had a good wander and sniff around the wood before sitting down right on the edge of the camera frame to soak up the sun for a while. Nothing was caught on camera that night. Bluetits, dunnocks, robins and great tits were busy on the feeder across the morning. During the early afternoon, I dug a hole to bury a plastic container to make a micro pond. At around 12 inches diameter, it was actually meant as a watering hole and bird bath. It was part filled with gravel so that any small animals could climb in and out if they needed to. Within 4 minutes of finishing it and walking away, there was a bluetit landed there for a drink. Not long after 9 p.m, one of the foxes passed through the wood, checking out the bird table on the way. The first capture on the 26th was a Eurasian dove taking off. I moved the bird feeder GoPro to a different tree as the afternoon and evening sun was glaring too badly on the lens. The next closest tree didn't suffer from glare, but was further away from the feeder. That camera didn't catch much on the feeder across the day, but a third camera placed near the pond was busy all day, catching drinkers and swimmers, including a chaffinch. Early evening, the fox passed through again. Around midnight on the morning of the 27th, the camera caught both the fox and the hedgehog at the same time. The hedgehog hardly moved while the fox was around, but by the third capture, it was gone from view. The pigeons were still racing around the tree, and the other birds were in and out of the pond all day. The blackbird was frequently taking a bath for around 2 minutes. By this time, I'd also planted moss around the edge of the pond to soak up water splashes. I also caught the first goldfinch dropping in for a drink. A pigeon also discovered the watering hole late in the afternoon. In the early hours of the 28th, the fox made another brief visit through the wood, and then all was quiet again until morning, when the action at the feeder in the pond took off. I didn't realize that such a simple thing as a container of water would attract so much interest. The camera briefly caught the hedgehog again to end the day's captures. The blackbird came for his morning bath to start the 29th. I haven't included all the captures from that morning, but it was busy. I did appear to have a leak in the pond, as even without birds visiting, the water level was dropping too fast for just evaporation. It was too popular to give up on the idea, so the Mark II pond was installed that afternoon. It was made from a cut-down Ikea laundry basket, and so was much bigger than the original. Once again, there was nothing on the camera overnight. The pigeon was the first to trigger it at 8:30 on Sunday the 30th. The bird feeder was busy with a breakfast bunch, and by 9:35, 2 goldfinch had dropped in for a drink at the new pond. From that point onwards, it was non-stop action at the feeder and the pond, with all the usual birds visiting to eat, drink and wash. The goldfinches were back again at the end of the afternoon, with the last bird at the pond being the jackdaw at 6:30. At 7:22 the fox made a daylight visit, having a wander around the wood before cutting through our hedge to the fields beyond. He was the last visitor of the day. The Eurasian dove was back to start Monday the 31st. By 9:40 the goldfinch visited again. My wife keeps thinking I'm saying that we have goldfish visiting. They must be the most colourful birds that we've had in the garden, and they were back again at midday. I didn't get any captures on the feeder camera on the 31st, so either there weren't any visitors, or they came and went so fast that the camera trigger couldn't operate fast enough to record. I've got some small pond plants on order, which I'll be adding soon to give a little bit of greenery and colour around the edge of the pond. The fox was back 20 minutes to midnight, and he was the last capture of March. I've added one more clip just 2 hours into April, and that was a brief video of the hedgehog passing the pond. We're now at the end of week 4 of my Trailcam videos. I hope you enjoyed everything that's been going on, what with the new pond for the birds, the hedgehog, which was a surprise visitor, and lots more visits by the fox. This is probably going to be the last of the sort of full-on week and fortnight videos for a little while because it's quite labour intensive. We're also heading into military vehicle season now, with my first event only 2 or 3 weeks away. So the subject of my videos is probably going to change a little bit over the next few weeks. But I'll be still checking on the camera to see what's been going on. Hope you enjoy the video. Bye for now. Don't forget to like and subscribe.